time for the press preview. A first look at what's on the front pages as they arrive. We begin with this day, and it says Atiku starting with Osun, an end has come to APC's reign in Nigeria. Quite bold. He says PDP's victory in tomorrow's poll in Osun will send a message to the ruling party. Let's see how it pans out. Brigade of Guards tightens security in Abuja over terror fear. Sexual assault. Court sentences Babaijesha to 5 years imprisonment. That report is on page 41. Yes. And crude oil theft, joint ventures are most hit bleeding. That's according to Akabweze.
All right, that's a good punch. The Punch newspaper. It said PDP sues INEC, APC, 6 Obi, Tinubu's disqualification. Oh, well. Wants Shatima Baba Ahmed Bad as VP candidates, joins Okube Matsari Labour Party in suit. Will respond to PDP, says Labour Party's lawyer. We're aware of the suit, Tinubu's legal team. And of course, there you see the picture of the video and the uncle in the PDP's rally. Atiku others campaign for Adeleke. INEC distributes materials for the elections that is coming up tomorrow. And then confront terrorists, eliminate them, Buhari tells security agents. Muslim ticket, direct attack on Christians. That is coming from SGF, the letter he wrote saying that Tinubu is cornered. That's Punch.
Let's take a look at the Nation this morning. Wipe out terrorists. Buhari gives fresh order to military. The last 12 years most challenging, says the president. Nigeria to sustain sub-regional security collaboration. More headlines. in Ngige misinforming Buhari about strikes, says the ASU president, as Tinubu plans to intervene in government ASU standoff. The leading photo, there's UBA chairman Tony Elumelu in Dubai as they unveiled the UBA United Bank for Africa Dubai chapter. Let's take more headlines. Osun 2020. Court rejects Arabashala's men's bid to stop Oyetola. Meanwhile, Makinde, Wike absent as Atiku others campaign for Adeleke. And above the Nation's mass plate, IPOB to UK High Commissioner, do not come to the southeast. More on that on page 3.
The Guardian newspaper leads with Muslim ticket. APC puts on hold Shatima's unveiling opposition mounts. Violence, vote buying, threatening fair, credible 2023 poll. That report is on page 4 and 5 in The Guardian. NCC charges MNOs, ISPs on alternative energy over high diesel bill. Don't sign peace pact with Fulani terrorists. Hudiwa warns Lalong.
All right, let's look at some international papers. The Times says boost for Truss in bitter struggle with Mordaunt.
The Independent this morning, 2 headlines on the front page. Let's take a look at the Independent. Russia accused of horrific war crimes. Children were among at least 20 people killed by a Russian missile in Vinnytsia, central Ukraine, yesterday. And just below that, lies and black ops. Tory campaign turns nasty. This is as Liz Truss has been accused of black ops in her fight to stay in the Tory leadership race.
The Financial Times, Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan results set grim tone for Wall Street.
All right, The Guardian, that's International Guardian, The Guardian, yes. Jail water firm bosses over pollution, says Watchdog. And just on the top master, move over, Bond, Hollywood's new look, macho man. And Mary Blige, no more drama, just her best songs. And then, of course, at the right there is a rival Tory comes, aim their fire at Modont. Okay, let's bring in Emmanuel Bello to do the press preview. Hello, Emmanuel. Good morning to you. As a weekend, they said TGIF. All right, we're starting with this day. The headline, Atiku, starting with Osun, an end has come to APC's reign in Nigeria. Do you agree with Atiku? Some four riders says PDP's victory in tomorrow's poll will send message to ruling party. Ayu, Okowa, Saraki, governors, others in final campaign for Adeleke.
Well, good morning, Indy. Good morning, Kenneth Nkechi. Thank God it's Friday. As we head into the weekend, we're also heading into those Osun elections where Atiku is already brimming with hope and saying that for him it's going to signal the end of APC's reign in Nigeria. So, Indy, you're asking if I agree with him. Well, we just need to wait another 24 hours or thereabouts to know whether that's going to happen. But on the ground, we're seeing a lot of push by both sides, and even reigning popular, acts like Davido, Portable, each side having its own, a musical act to go with it. So it's their own way of rallying up their support, their base. And although it's a state election, Atiku has tied it down to what it's to the national, the national discourse. So it's gone beyond just a state, a one-off state election. All eyes will be on Osun, basically also because of what Atiku just said, that it's going to be the battleground for testing the powers and the wills of these two parties, especially the PDP and APC. Of course, we saw other parties making their push there. Peter Obi was also there, and to push for his candidate and his supporters. So, but what we're looking at is what looks like the grand stage is set for just two heavyweights in that battle. So we're going to watch and see how that pans out. But for Atiku, it's not just winning. It's not just a state election. This is not just a state election for him. This is an election that will signal for him the beginning of the unraveling of the APC. Maybe he is also riding on the back of the crisis within the APC right now. There's a backlash practically almost all over the country against the party because of their choice of a running mate. So maybe he wants to ride on that to see on this wave of criticism to see if that will eat into the Osun election in a way and give it an edge. But then Osun, the ruling party in Osun itself is standing on its ground, already using state power, for instance, denying them the use of the stadium. That's what some state governments do to opposition party. They show their strength in that they deny the use of either airports or the use of facilities. It's again that is just in the morning, early in the morning, showing that look, we can muzzle our way through because we are the ruling party. So that's what APC will be counting on. They'll be looking at the power of incumbency. They'll be looking at the fact that they run the federal government. They'll be looking at all of that. But Atiku, you hear him saying, look, it's going to be a showdown.
All roads lead to Osun State tomorrow, and Arise News is on ground to bring our viewers all the updates. Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper. Placeholder running mate PDP sues INEC, APC, Labour Party, Peter Obi, Tinubu, Donyo Kupe. A lot of names on that list that have gone to court. They're saying the court should bar Tinubu, who is the presidential candidate of APC, from replacing his vice presidential candidate from Masari to Kasim Shettima. And they also want Peter Obi to run with Donyo Kupe, and if they don't, they should be disqualified. Some people are saying this seems like a desperate move by the opposition party. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's politics, and like in love, they say all is fair. When it comes to the search for power. So you want to look at everything. You want to check out every angle to see what you can, what advantages you can get. And so they've seen a loophole here. In Kechi, we all discuss it here that it's a very strange concept, the placeholder concept. It has no place in the Constitution. So ab initio, it was already unconstitutional. So now they are going to court to say that, look, there was nothing like placeholder in the first place. It's a contraption of some of the parties came up with, and now the PDP is saying that. So when a matter is in court, it's like you don't know what could happen to it. It's always very serious. So the PDP is trying to see what it can do now to see whether they can actually get some kind of victory in that. But the APC is already mired. Apart from the Masari placeholder who stepped down, it's already mired in the crisis of a running mate. So this is just going to compound those problems. But it's a way of PDP saying to see whether they can just get some little bit of victory in that area. The running mate thing was supposed to be a very, very easy thing. But because of the contentious nature of our politics, I think the only party that got it, from day one, off the bat was the opposition party, PDP, just quickly picked on the running mate. But even they have not really, survived that because, again, even just as early as yesterday, again, Atiku was asked the wicked question: what will he do about that? And it's all tied with the running mate crisis. So we're having almost all the party having those crises of running mates, who to pick. One also picking Bishop Idahosa yesterday, so that he won't repeat the mistake of the APC, the balancing act of Christian Muslim. So they are all binding this, and then the placeholder thing also up the ante in that regard, as far as the issue of running mates is concerned.
While we're looking forward to the election in Osun State, we're hoping it will be peaceful. But in front of the Nation newspaper, the president has given a fresh order to the military to wipe out terrorists. This time, will it be the final order, Emmanuel?
The final order, Kenneth. I like that. It's well, it sounds like one. You say wipe them off the face of the earth, not just Nigeria completely, like wipe all the terrorists off the face of the earth. That might be too ambitious. But of course, that's the president, And that this is not the first time the president has talked tough about this, in this way. But we've been saying on this program that it has to go beyond talking. It has to go beyond words, because it's beginning to sound like a broken record. There must be some action. And in this story, the president was actually marshalling plan, including some form of, security pact with China around the issue of securing, on the issue of security. So yes, those orders are okay. The president himself, earlier in the year said that, look, just give him 11 months. I think that's what the projection he had, that he was going to get around those things. But these issues became even worse. The pattern I see here, which is worrisome, is that you have this kind of orders, and they're almost like a rebuke to the president, or even like an affront to him. Then you have something very strange happening again. That's something that need to worry the president. A lot of people have questioned his security plans, his architecture. With even former President Obasanjo coming out to say, look, it's like the president is overwhelmed, he's run out of ideas. We're not strangers to this kind of orders, but maybe what will change now is that of course the president needs to rewrite this narrative, his own records. He campaigned on security, he campaigned on corruption, and he campaigned on transparency in elections. These are all issues that he needs to focus. As he bows out of government, he says he's in a hurry to leave, but he will not be just too much in a hurry to ensure that at least he hicks something about his legacy. So you see a president that is much more concerned about his president. So maybe the urgency, they need to have a better story told about him. We will push for more action. Maybe this is not the usual kind of thing. And for the rest of us, you and I, Kenneth, we really need strong action and strong policy actions on the issue of security. So it's a good thing when we hear the president say these things, but it's better if they are followed up with serious actions.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello. Dear Falcons are qualified for the World Cup. That's interesting news. That's the press preview. Daybreak returns in.